Hello everyone, this is Kelly, your pre-position assistant student helper, and today I want to talk about study habits, how to study, and some things to do and not to do that I've learned over the years. So this year is my 6th year of school. I'm nearing the end of my first year of graduate school, which is kind of blowing my mind. But I've learned a lot over the years, and I have had some requests to make a video about studying, and I want to share with you some things that I do that I think are really helpful. And I also have a little bit of advice for things that really changed my just whole view of studying and kind of gave me some motivation. So number one, this is very important. Delete Netflix. So Netflix will be the end of your GPA if you are not careful. And for me, this was especially true. So I am a person who really likes to focus on one thing at a time. And so if I have Netflix on and I have my, study materials next to me or in my lap, I will not study. I will go 110% into whatever show or movie I'm watching, and it's going to be the end of me because at the end of that episode, I want to know what happens next, and I'm still going to have my homework or whatever I have sitting in my lap with nothing getting done. Delete Netflix, and you're thinking, oh, that's not going to work. I'll just open it on my computer. Change the password. Oh, well, then I just know what the password is. Tell your mom to change the password so you won't know. So that is something that has been huge because if you think you have free time, you're probably wrong. At least in my case, that has been true. And when I thought I had free time, I would watch Netflix. But in reality, that's the time I should have been devoting to studying. So, 2, make reminders for your reminders for your reminders. So I do everything in a planner. This is mine for this year. Let me flip open to March right now. So I have all the important things in this that's going on. So I know when my tests are, I know when my quizzes are, I know when my presentations are, and I know when I have, I put my work schedule in here. I put the big things in this planner. That has been very important to me because I struggle with time management and procrastinating. And so if I can see in my planner for the entire month all the things that I have to do, I am more likely to kind of feel that pressure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, next week you have, for example, the week after spring break, I have 3 presentations and a test. This is going to be after I'm going to be in Guatemala for a week for a mission trip. When am I going to do that? How am I going to study for that? I don't know. But I'm freaking out about it now, and I have a whole week before spring break starts to get a lot of those things in order. Second, I have a giant whiteboard in my kitchen that is also a calendar. It's a monthly calendar, and I go in, erase it, and update it every 2 weeks to also give me an idea of what's coming up next. I need reminders for my reminders for my reminders. So if it's something huge or I think that, hey, Kelly, you're probably going to forget this, I'll set myself little notes in my phone. I'll put it on a Google Calendar. I have reminders for what I have to do and what's coming up everywhere. And I've learned that I absolutely need that. In class, in particular, this is what I have been doing, and this is what has worked really well for me. I take all my notes on the computer. So if it's a PowerPoint, whatever it might be, I've got a Word document up or I'm typing in the notes on the PowerPoint or on the PDF. We have a special guest, guys. This is Lila. And in that, I will be sure to make little notes if the prof says, hey, guys, this is going to be on the test. Or I will put in there, too, he said this 4 times. This is probably important. At this point in my educational career, I've gotten pretty good at predicting which questions, how they're going to formulate questions and what questions I can expect. And so what I do after I type everything out on my computer is when I get home, I have my PowerPoints printed out, and then I fill in all of the notes by hand. And so on here, you can see I've written in everything I typed next to these slides. I feel like it's kind of like the same way that I handle like organizing my life by organizing my notes. I like to have it in about 10 different places, and the more times I see it, obviously, the better I'm going to remember it. So, yeah, number 1, PowerPoint or Word document in class. Number 2, write it all down. Number 3, formulate test questions. So this is for an immunology class, and this type of class, all of our tests are write out and short answer. So what I did is I picked out the stuff that was emphasized in class, and I made little study questions for myself. So I could go through all of this and kind of quiz myself or read through it a million times about what I think I'm going to be tested over. This right here is a game changer. This has been probably the biggest and best change I have made for studying, especially on these write-out tests, because I'm really, really good at, reading through it a couple times and kind of memorizing or picking out what the answer is supposed to look like on a multiple choice. But on write-out, you can't do that. You can't say like, oh, I know what the answer is going to be if I see it. That's not how it works. So, yeah, this is a game changer. Like, I knew this chart was going to be on the test. So, I make sure I put that on my little study guide. So I make myself study guides. It's kind of like a practice test for myself. Okay. If I have a multiple choice test coming up, that is when my flashcards pretty much save the day. So these guys are for, actually when I got my scribe job, where I had to know all of this medical terminology. And, I went through and wrote out everything on here. And I would flip through these things all the time. And for me, writing out flashcards takes a lot of time. But it's a task that makes me feel good for having done said task. I'm very task-oriented. And so by the time you're finished writing all these flashcards, you've actually just studied for however long you wrote out all those flashcards. So you kind of trick yourself into studying a little bit. And then when I go through these, I go through the first time for, like, let's see what I know. And I set everything I know for sure in a pile. And then I go through the stack of things I don't know. Go through it again, go through it again, go through it again. Mix everything together. And then start doing the same thing, like start from the top. Go through these cards, quiz myself. Everything I know for sure, I put in this pile. Everything I'm still struggling on goes in this pile. Then I go through these and go through these and go through these. And I do that over and over and over and over again until I am confident in every single one of these cards. When it comes to reading textbooks, that's something that I definitely struggle with. I use it to reference while I'm studying, but I have not yet been able to just sit down and read a chapter in a textbook and be happy about it. But some good advice I got from one of my professors is read the book before lecture, go to lecture, read the book after lecture. So what that kind of does is it gives you an intro to what you're about to, learn. You learn it. And then you read it again, and that kind of solidifies what you're about to learn as well. So, that is how I study. Also, if your professor gives you a study guide, even if it's 20 pages long, you do the whole thing. And, you got to do all this stuff. All of it. It's very important. I feel like my study habits have gotten 120 million% better from my undergrad, and I'm definitely still learning. My biggest struggle still is procrastinating. I would rather be at work. I would rather be with my dog. I would rather be shadowing than studying. And so I will kind of justify to myself why I can do X, Y, and Z first. And I recognize that. I know it's a weakness, which is why I have my reminder system up all over my apartment and in my planner as well. But I wanted to give a shout out. A lot of people have been starting PA YouTube channels, which is really exciting to go and you see what other content people are creating. The PA counselor is a student who is finishing up his undergraduate right now. He just got into PA school, so congratulations to him. And he is posting all kinds of content about how he got in and hot topics, just like I am within the PA, realm. And he, I feel like, is on, he's a very different applicant than I am. So, for example, he is graduating with his undergrad in 3 years. I'm pretty sure he has a 4.0. Like, he's got this stuff figured out. He's the most disciplined person I have ever listened to in these videos, and he's got a lot of really great advice. And again, that's the PA counselor. Giving him a shout out. You guys should definitely go check him out. And like I said, he did get in. Yay. So, I hope everybody is having a great week. I hope this video helped. And if you have any questions or if there's anything I could expand on, please let me know. Got some great ideas for videos coming up. I hope you guys will stay tuned, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.